The year is 2347. Humanity had tentatively stepped onto the galactic stage a mere century ago. Their newly developed, faster-than-light drives clunky and inefficient compared to the elegant warp bubbles of the Visori Consortium or the instantaneous transference gates of the Cygnian Ascendancy. To the established species of the Milky Way, humans were the galactic equivalent of boisterous toddlers who had just learned to run, full of unearned confidence, prone to tripping over their own feet, and blissfully unaware of the intricate rules of the grown-ups game. Earth was filed away in galactic charts as Sector 7G, Planet 3, designation. Solii, minor developing homeworld, non-threatening. A quaint blue marble that occasionally made noise but was largely ignored. On Mars, under the crimson sky, the Ares VI deep core mining operation was well underway. They weren't looking for precious metals in the traditional sense. The Martian crust was known to be rich in rare isotopes vital for the next generation of human FTL drives, the ones they hoped would finally make them a little less clumsy. Supervisor Kaylin Rostova, a woman whose Martian tan was ingrained deeper than any surface dust, squinted at the tremor readings. Beside her, Aris Thorne, fresh out of the Saul Academy of Astrogeology, nervously double-checked the drill telemetry. Anything unusual, Aris? Kaylin's voice was calm, a contrast to the low rumble vibrating through the deck plates of the command crawler. Negative, Supervisor. Just some anomalous density readings we've been tracking, probably a large iron meteorite core like the scans predicted. Aris tried to sound more confident than he felt. Mars always felt ancient and sometimes actively watchful. The Megadrill, a titan of human engineering named Earthshaker, bit deeper into the Martian crust near the eastern edge of Vols Marinaris, a vast canyon system that dwarfed anything on Earth. For weeks, they had been boring through kilometer after kilometer of rock. Today, they were scheduled to break through to the predicted isotope-rich stratum. Suddenly, the drill's high-pitched whine changed. It dropped in frequency, then spiked with a screech of tortured metal before an abrupt, deafening silence fell. Warning lights flashed across Aris's console like angry red fireflies. Supervisor, drill head seizure. Massive energy surge detected at the contact point, Aris shouted, his voice cracking. Kaylin was already on the comms. All teams brace for emergency shutdown. Earthshaker is offline. Repeat, Earthshaker is offline. Damage assessment teams prepare for deployment. Below, deep within the Bohr M0, the Earthshaker hadn't just hit dense rock. Its multi-ton drill head had made contact with something impossibly smooth, impossibly hard, and utterly artificial. As the emergency protocols tried to retract the drill, a section of the material it had touched fractured, not like rock, but like tempered glass, revealing an obsidian-black surface beneath. And then a soft blue light began to emanate from within the fracture, pulsing slowly. On the surface, Kaylin and Aris watched their sensor arrays go haywire. A low, powerful hum, below the range of human hearing, but registered on every seismic sensor across the Ares VI operation, began to emanate from the drill site. It grew in intensity, the ground vibrating with a resonance that felt profoundly unnatural. "What in the void is that?" Kaylin whispered, a trickle of unease turning into a cold river down her spine. Aris pointed a trembling finger at a new display. "Supervisor, the energy signature. It's not geological. It's patterned, almost like a heartbeat." The blue light from the depths intensified, shooting up the Bohr M0 like a geyser of pure energy, erupting from the surface in a blinding column that pierced the thin Martian atmosphere and stabbed into the blackness of space. It was visible from Olympus Mons to the polar ice caps. Every human on Mars and every orbital station saw it. Then it stopped, and something else began. All across Mars, dormant pieces of technology, buried for eons, flickered to life. Hidden under the red sands, structures of unimaginable scale began to stir. From the depths of Vols Marinaris, a section of the canyon floor kilometers long began to segment and rise, revealing not rock, but the superstructure of something impossibly vast. It wasn't a ship. It was a weapon, a planetary defense platform of such staggering size it made the collective human fleet look like toys. Similar energy signatures flared across the Sol system. Under the ice of Europa, beneath the swirling clouds of Jupiter, even in the dark, cold expanse of the Kuiper Belt, ancient constructs responded to the Martian signal. It was as if a silent, sleeping network had been awakened. Back on Earth, at Galactic Coordination Command in Geneva, alarms blared. General Thorne, Aris's estranged father, as fate would have it, stared at the galactic map, his face grim. Report. Sir, massive energy surge originating from Mars' Sol system. It's activating something. Multiple contacts, system-wide. They're big, sir. Very big. Before anyone could process the implications, a new signal overrode all communications channels. It wasn't a language any living human knew, yet it resonated with a primal familiarity, like a half-forgotten dream. The sound was deep, resonant, archaic, but unmistakably human. It began with a series of complex harmonic tones, a carrier wave that every active FTL calm buoy in the galaxy, from the sophisticated Visori relays to the basic human models, picked up and began to rebroadcast. Then, the voice. Awakening Protocol Sigma 9 initiated. Sanctuary Seal disengaged. Children of Sol, your slumber is ended. The words, when automatically translated by the baffled alien linguist programs across the galaxy, sent a shiver of disbelief through countless civilizations. On the Visori flagship, Ambassador Krell, who had once dismissed a human envoy's plea for trade rights with a wave of his upper tendril, felt his primary hearts constrict. Sanctuary Seal, children of Sol. The broadcast continued, the ancient human dialect painting a picture that shattered every preconceived notion about humanity. We, the firstborn of Terra, established this network eons past. A great war ravaged the stars, against an enemy that consumed light and reason. We fought, we bled, but the cost was too great. To preserve our lineage, our essence, we designated Sol as the last sanctuary. Your ancestors, our direct descendants, were shielded here. Their memories of the great expanse and the terror beyond wiped clean, allowed to re-evolve, to rediscover the strength that is your birthright, unburdened by the ancient dread. On Mars, Kalen and Aris listened, huddled in the command crawler, the red dust swirling outside as the colossal construct continued its ascent from the canyon floor. The voice felt like it was speaking directly to their DNA. Earth was not your cradle, children. It was your shield. The other constructs throughout this system are not ruins. They are sentinels, guardians of your long sleep. The artifact you disturbed on the world you call Mars is the master control, the heart of the sanctuary defense grid. Its activation signals to the galaxy, and to the shadows that linger, that the true inheritors of Sol have awakened. The galactic community was in an uproar. On council worlds and trade hubs, the broadcast played on repeat. The minor, developing species was suddenly something else entirely. Not young, but ancient. Not naive, but deliberately sheltered. Their clumsy technology was built upon the forgotten bedrock of an empire that had once warred with galaxy-consuming horrors. Ambassador Krell stared at the image of Earth now displayed on his main screen, the serene blue marble. He had once called it quaint. Now it looked like a sleeping god. All previous intelligence assessments of Sol II are to be considered void, he transmitted to the Visori High Command, his voice tight. Reevaluate all treaties, all interactions. We are not dealing with children. We are dealing with inheritors. On Earth, humanity was reeling. Disbelief warred with a strange, burgeoning sense of pride, of destiny. General Thorne looked at the image of the Martian construct, now fully revealed, a city-sized fortress bristling with weapons technologies that made human designs look like catapults. His son, Aris, had stumbled upon the key to humanity's true past. The broadcast concluded with a chilling resonance. The activation is a beacon. It signals our readiness. It signals our claim. But it also signals our presence to the ancient enemy, should any remnants of it still lurk in the void. Children of Sol, inheritors of firstborn Terra, your time of peace is over. Your true history begins now. Prepare. The immediate aftermath was chaos, then a stunned, fearful silence across the galaxy. Patrols from powerful empires cautiously approached the Sol system's borders, only to be met by the silent, activated sentinels. No threats were made, but the message was clear. Sol was no longer an open territory. Treaties were frantically rewritten. Scientific expeditions were launched by other species, not to study the primitives, but to desperately understand the scale of firstborn technology. For humanity, the revelation was transformative. The petty squabbles and national rivalries seemed insignificant. They were the descendants of galactic titans, the keepers of a hidden legacy. Awe, fear, and a daunting sense of responsibility settled upon them. Earth, once a galactic backwater, was now the epicenter of a reawakening ancient power. The galaxy held its breath, wondering if the return of the firstborn's children heralded a new age of order or the rekindling of a war that had once consumed the stars. And deep in the unexplored voids between galaxies, ancient sensors, dormant for millennia, flickered with a malevolent, answering light. The terror beyond had heard the call.